BRB UK. Worse teeth, better accents.
Hello, and indeed ahoy hoy, and belated platty jubes to you all. Platty jubes. Platty jubes.
Don't like that.
No?
I mean,
Tim,
I hope
did
you
you
had
not
a
have
good,
a nice...
I hope you had a good weekend. I
well,
don't like the phrase platty jubes. Doesn't land well.
I'm Dan. I don't like the phrase platty jubes, but I did have a sneaking suspicion it was very likely to trigger Tim, so I'm going to use it. Good platty jubes, Tim? Yeah.
Apart from the use of the words platty jubes. Yes.
Yes. Coleman, did you have a nice platty jubes?
I did, in that I did not celebrate it in any way, shape or form.
Good. Lovely. Brilliant. Well, my missus managed to catch COVID for the third time,
Wow.
so we ended up doing bugger all. So, stupid virus. Seriously. Stupid virus. But it was nice having a long weekend. And as you probably worked out, listeners, we managed to sneak in recording some cheeky bits and bobs for you ahead of time, since Coleman was turning himself into a lobster on the beaches of Spain.
Barcelona's Catalonia.
Was it Naz?
Yeah. Yes. Very good. I went to the beach, but it was so packed out by expats that I went, do you know what? I think we'll just...
I'm good.
We'll go to the hotel, we'll go to the balcony. Yeah, and there was a rooftop
We are all
sunbathing pool stuff, and so that was all good.
Sunbathing pool stuff?
Yeah.
So what was the brightest shade of red that you saw from an expat?
Man, I mean, on the beach, just everywhere, just either super white pale or super red lobster. Like, there's no in between. If they're in between, then it's a local.
Yes, this is true. Although it's something that always slightly depresses me about it. Just part of the fun for me for going abroad is, sampling a bit of foreign culture, trying some different food.
Yeah.
But it's like all expats want is to go somewhere and have fish and chips or a fry up, and I don't understand. There's like wonderful seafood you can try.
Oh yeah, I'm big into that. Yeah. We went all over for food, man. There was like various different tapas restaurants, and went down to the food markets and stuff to try stuff fresh, and it was great. Loved it.
Oh, good on you, mate.
Would recommend. Would do it again. Gaudi stuff everywhere.
Lovely.
Yeah, love that Gaudi.
Love it.
Yeah.
So anyway, did you manage to sneak in playing some video games then, Coleman? Because I think we've both played a similar thing.
Do you know, when I went away, I took my Switch, and because my travel sickness tablets make me very drowsy, I slept the entire way there and the entire way back without playing my Switch once. So
excellent work.
I didn't play anything on holiday, but when I came back, we had the launch of one Diablo Immortal.
We did have a launch of Diablo Immortal. Officially on Androids and iThings, less officially and less in final form on the PC.
Yeah, it's in beta.
How does that
officially
work?
on the PC?
Yes.
So
they're still kicking the tires on PC. They're not quite sure if it's doing all the things it should do, because certainly my impression of the PC version is that it's pretty much a straight port from the mobile versions, and has had very little in the way of optimizations, tweaks, both in terms of graphical fidelity, but also UI point of view as well. It's very obviously just the mobile game.
It does things like if you have a menu of if you got all your weapons and your items and stuff that you want to scroll through and figure out what you want to equip your character, and you scroll down on the scroll wheel. It took me ages going, why can I not move it? I'm hitting the arrow keys, I'm hitting the scroll wheel, and it's like, I've got to click, hold, and drag it like I'm using a touch screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at several points it was encouraging me to tap to open or something like that.
Yeah.
Which,
the best way to play it... Oh, sorry, go on.
Yeah. I was just going to say, isn't this the game where they originally said that it was only going to be on phones, and then when the audience booed, they were like, what, you've all got phones? Or you all have phones, don't you? Or something like that?
That's exactly, and I think that's kind of why we had I think it is purely a gut reaction of going, oh, look at all this negative feedback from announcing this Diablo mobile version, which essentially was it looked like an existing Tencent game that was available over in China that had just had a bit of a Diablo coat of paint on it, and they've seemingly taken that away and gone, right, we need to work on this a lot to make it look more like Diablo, plus we need a PC port of this with crossplay available.
Yeah, I mean, I think with the PC version, and I think we'll come on to actually talk about the game proper in just a second, probably talk about mobile versions, is I think they're very aware that Diablo 4's a while off, and Diablo 3's pretty ancient.
It's quite long
now.
in the tooth at this point.
It is quite long. It's still a very good game.
Oh, yeah. I've just reinstalled it on the PS5.
Nice. Ooh, might go. Oh, yeah, I might give that a look. Oh, yeah. Ooh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so Diablo Immortal is, as Coleman rightly said, a if you're being very cynical, a reskin of an existing highly microtransaction laden game by Tencent. It is, if you are less cynical, it is the canonical entry between Diablo 2 and Diablo 3, where a world stone got shattered. It got shattered all over the place, and wherever little bits of it landed, bad things have happened, because with great power comes great responsibility, and nobody can be bothered with any of that. So
I didn't follow any of the
that's
story.
Where it kind of leaves off. You are a trusty adventurer. You hear there is loot to be had, a name to make for yourself in Westmarch, and so off you go. Rock up at the town gates like some kind of unstoppable weirdo, and demand that they accept your help. Pretty much the setup. How have you found it so far? I mean, I think it's been very well designed from the point of view that it doesn't show its hand in terms of microtransactions
until it's too late.
Very early. But when it does,
God, it's
it
hurting
does.
to you.
Like, do you know what? I was like, wicked. I was very excited. I was going to set up a big red barrel clan.
Oh, done that.
But it turns out I need 3,000 platinum, which I cannot work out how to earn unless I give them £6.
So you have to unlock orbs, which I believe is available by pondering them. In some form in the game, you can unlock orbs, and then you trade those orbs for silver. Then you use that silver to unlock your clan.
Now, I'm a chap who's come from Destiny 1,
yeah.
Okay? There were I could still probably tell you all the various flavours of currency. This is a whole new level of just obfuscation and confusion to make you just go, do you know what? It's not actually worth my time. I'm going to throw some money at it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, coming back to the gameplay first before we get into the moderately egregious but sadly very expected microtransactions. It's not a bad little Diablo game.
No.
It's, if you want to play a little bit of Diablo on your phone, I thoroughly recommend using a controller, by the way. It's not a bad... You can probably have some fun with it and not spend any money.
Yeah.
But Diablo's legs and its fun have always been in the end game about min-maxing your character, about optimizing your build, about chasing, really awesome and slightly game-breaking bits of loot. I mean, there have been reports saying if you really want to kind of max out and hit your final build, like the absolute best build you can, there's been silly amounts of kind of people saying, oh, it's going to cost you $10,000.
Yeah, that's the amount I saw.
Look, I haven't had the chance to actually dissect all of that, and
you've only spent about 40,000 so far, yeah? So
yeah, exactly. As a chap who has a PhD in biostatistics, I haven't had the opportunity to verify that. I am skeptical. If I get the time, I will merrily try and recreate something and openly publish it. But yeah, I'm not quite sure it's as egregious as that. I mean, I still think you could have a lot of fun with the game for not very much money, but it does have some pretty hefty difficulty spikes, which require either a lot of grinding.
Before getting into the actual game itself, for me, I will say, because there's a lot of controversy around surrounding the microtransaction element of this game, And I will say, yeah, on the outside, it does look scummy. And when you say, oh, you can't max level your character unless you spend thousands of thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars, or put in hundreds of hours of gameplay that just isn't plausible at all. However, my rule on microtransactions, if the game is free, go to town. Go nuts with your microtransactions. Do what you want. If you do that in a £70 game, then I start getting irate, which is becoming more and more the norm these days. However, playing Diablo Immortal and it being a free-to-install game, I won't say free-to-play because they are constantly chucking microtransaction things at you.
I've resisted so far.
Yeah, and it's totally doable to do that. However, I think if you are a person that is susceptible to advertising of microtransactions where you go, yes, I need that and I have to, because I had a big problem with this when I first started mobile gaming, and it's I've got a big kind of completionist attitude of having to the game isn't finished until I've unlocked everything. However, unlocking everything these days
Coleman's
means
middle name is FOMO.
Oh yeah, totally.
Coleman's full name is Coleman FOMO Coleman. That's his full name.
As gamers, though, we're trained to do that. We're trained to work that way. Yeah. With, like, achievement systems.
But I think it's because we're. Yeah, I think it's because we're gamers of a certain age, which means that games were kind of geared to go, you paid this, you rolled credits, however, there's all this stuff to do. Once you've done that, you've completed the game, you've got your money's worth. Unfortunately, it took me a while to kind of break that habit to go, hold on, I'm buying characters now, I'm buying costumes now. This isn't unlocking things, this isn't progress in how I play the game. So if you don't have that kind of mentality still, if you have that mentality where you need to unlock everything, not to play a free-to-play mobile game, because that's all it does. It just chucks microtransactions at you. And again, it's when you go, oh, I'm going to enjoy this game of FIFA. Oh, what's this? Ultimate Team? Oh, what's this? A card game that I can play alongside? Oh, well, I need to unlock that card. Oh, it's a special one and I get a discount. And all that stuff is incredibly scummy.
Yeah, it is. But I think what it's very much, from what I can tell, it's designed to, with the business case comes from the fact that there are going to be some people with either they have more money than sense because they are so mind-blowingly well off that it doesn't matter to them throwing money at it. But also there are people who I think are going to, and I kind of jokingly said that at the beginning, but it is actually a very real thing, kind of
have less
slightly
sense
weaponizing
and then no
FOMO
money.
is, and I don't like the fact that it does position itself like, if you really want the top build, if you really want to be unlocking more stuff, if you want to do it in a time frame that is less than the heat death of the universe, you're going to have to throw some money at it. I think where it does get, I haven't got there. I'm only like level 36 on my character. I played a wizard because wizards are awesome.
Yeah,
and they set things on fire. Yes, and it does things a little differently than existing Diablo games. But I haven't, once or twice I hit a little bit of a difficulty spike that I had to grind through. But to me, it's more that my experience of the microtransactions so far is that they try and obfuscate what you need to do, and quite obviously position the money, being able to pay your way out of that confusion as kind of the little initial inroad into it.
Yeah.
But that being said, there's no abilities that have been locked behind a paywall. I've heard that kind of all the ways you can power up your armor and like the grade of like any other Diablo game, you can like socket gems into gear to give it extra attributes, either increase the stats or, in the case of legendary gems, give them brand new capabilities. They can drop as 1-star or 2-star or 5. I don't know what happened to 3 and 4 stars, but they could drop 5 stars. But guess where the 5-star rifts can only drop? The 5-star gems have a non-zero chance of dropping, or a next to non-zero chance of dropping, is if you go into a legendary rift, which you've got to pay money, although you can get one free a month, I think, of like a legendary crest or something, and then that allows you to have a chance of one dropping. it slightly makes my brain
If
hurt.
you try
I'm not
to
gonna
explain all the different mechanics of working around microtransactions, we'll be here all day, because there is so much to it. However, that said, playing the game itself, booted it up on the phone. I don't know how it performs on iOS, but on the Pixel 6 that I'm playing it on, it takes ages to load up the initial loading screen. And because I'll play this on the tube now on the way to work, and I've figured that I have to, when I leave my house,
need a network connection.
I can do it on 5G. I'm overground tube, not underground tube. No tunnels.
So
wombling free.
Ground, really.
Yeah. Anyway, so I literally have to switch on Diablo Immortal when I leave my house, put it in my pocket, walk to the tube station, tap in, go up, and while I'm waiting for the tube,
nice little warm feeling
in my headphones, if it starts playing the theme music, then I go, hooray, I can play while I'm on the tube. But sometimes I'll get on the tube and I'm going to work and it's still loading. I don't know why. Sometimes it just decides, do you know what? Today I need 10 minutes to load. And sometimes I go, do you know what? Today I need a minute to load. And I don't understand what the difference is.
I found it pretty quick on iOS. It does... Man, it eats battery. I think the things I found, the touch screen controls on it, I find are pretty good, but because the view is so zoomed in on the game, actually you end up obscuring, as if you're playing a ranged character like a wizard, actually you end up having your big monkey fingers, in my case, all over the screen. You can't see what you're meant to be doing.
Gibbon fingers.
And I'm going to get something out of my drawer. My drawer of mystery. What's in my drawer?
Is it the Razer Kishi?
It's a Razer Kishi.
They're about to bring out V2 as well.
And actually, the I would say the quality of the controller based interface is as good as Diablo 3 on the PS5. I would say.
Yeah, I'm really thankful that there is Kishi support, because there are a ridiculous amount of Diablo style games on mobile phone that I go, oh yeah, I'll play that. And, there's a bunch of them that are Marvel ones as well, and I'll get sent a press release and go, oh, that's cool, install it, stick in the Razer Kishi, not supported every time. And because they take, in some cases, hours to install, because you install it and go, oh cool, ready to play, and then it goes, now I need to install all the patches.
Yep.
And when you finally get through it doesn't have any controller support. So
yep. Diablo Immortal does a very decent trick of streaming stuff in the background as it needs it.
Yeah.
Which I was fairly impressed by. I am going to give it a go on the iPad at some point, because apparently it's got controlled support on that too, so that might be quite interesting. But I mean, you can play it in 30 frames per second or 60 frames per second mode.
60.
There's kind of extra bells and whistles, or not so many bells and whistles.
All the bells and whistles.
You turn up to big, the less battery life you will have, and man, my phone gets very warm on it. I'm playing it on the ridiculously named iPhone 12 Pro Max.
Nice.
Stupid name for a phone.
Is that any good? I was thinking to get my girlfriend one of those.
It's a good phone. I like it. It's nice. I like the big screen. I like it.
I think she's bought a Samsung now.
But I kind of want to see how it runs on an iPad with an M1 chip in it. I shall report back next week.
Yeah, please do. I'm playing it on the max settings it will let you do on a phone. I think that there are there's a setting above the max that I can get to, and it is literally it's tablet basically. But playing it on my phone, absolutely fine. Kishi support, really happy about that. I do put it on the full settings. It does eat my battery, so it's a short trip to work and then run to my desk and quickly stick my phone on charge.
It's worth it though. It looks
great.
It looks really. I mean, I did put the render res down. I found was the good thing.
Okay.
The trick to do.
Yeah. If I'm playing it without
corking looking game.
If I'm playing it on the sofa watching TV, I have to turn VSync off just to kind of calm it down a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it plays really well. It just feels like, I won't say handheld Diablo, because that already exists in Diablo 3 on the Switch. And from what I played of that, it's Diablo 3. It's a more in-depth game than you're getting on the mobile phone. But it's like Diablo Junior. And it's good to have that, take it out and about with you, sync it up with the PC version. I know a lot of people are complaining about the PC version because it's in beta and it's a 1-to-1 point ratio of a mobile phone game on the PC. However, I like the cross save. It loads quicker on PC as well, that I like. I've kind of found a nice balance of having the mouse next to me while I've got my DualSense connected via Bluetooth, and that works really, really well when playing the game, and it's just kind of back and forth thing. But it's a great game to kind of waste away the time on the tube. It's a great game to play while I've just rubbish on TV and go, I'll sit here on the couch and play some Diablo Immortal, keep it going, get my grinding up. I did spend a little bit of money.
Boo.
Yeah. Boo. It was literally because I wanted to make a clan. I wanted to make a Big Red Barrel clan, and it's available.
So you've done it. Invite me.
I think you have to be on the same server.
What?
I think so. I'll have to check into that.
What server are you on?
Woodwraith.
Oh.
And you can't transfer your character, I already looked.
Really?
Yeah, I'm sure. You can transfer servers. You can move to a different server and start a new character, but I'm assuming at some point down the road they're going to go, like they do with all the MMOs and stuff.
Do you want
like
to do
Warcraft,
this?
They'll go,
you got to pay some money.
£10 and you can move your character over to another server. I'm pretty sure that will be the case going forward, but it's not right now.
That explains why my character... I didn't realise they were server-locked, the characters. That is some fresh, steaming BS.
I don't know if that's the same for multiplayer. If you play with friends, I don't know if you warp to another server specifically or how that works. We'll have to look into that because we've not been able to communicate a night for multiplayer between us, even though I've been playing this every single night and day.
Yeah.
But yeah, as a Diablo clone on a phone, it's totally plausible.
Clone on a
phone.
I'm
on a phone.
Weirdly enjoying this game, and I will say because of the other microtransaction I made is it when you log in, it goes, do you want to make, after you've finished the intro mission, it goes, do you want a beginner's pack of resources and stuff? It's only 89p.
One time only. Nice price. Do a nice price.
And I thought, 89p, introduction pack. Yeah, why not? I'll pick that up. And then the next day it goes, do you want the super special introduction pack? Only £1.49. I'm on to you, Blizzard. I see what you're doing.
Dude.
You're gonna start, special offer cases, and you're gonna start edging up the price a bit more each time. Nah, I'm on to you. So those are the two purchases I made, but I think I've put in more than enough time to justify the £7.88 I think I've paid in total.
I mean, I think it's probably going to be we'll report back in a couple of weeks. I think when we properly get to the end game. Yeah, Kev, friend of the show, who lives and breathes Diablo 3, has already been quite dismissive of it. I don't know whether or not because he's a similarly old curmudgeon as we are.
I think it was the report of how much microtransactions go into it that I saw on Discord. The funny thing as well,
if I can be bothered, I will try and verify that $10,000 claim. The
funny thing as well, a lot of the mobile gaming that I do out of the house is my mobile remoting into my PS5 at home. So now I've reinstalled Diablo 3. I very well could just play that on my mobile rather than play this.
Also, just for the record, I think the $80,000 sum came from someone that I haven't watched recently, actually, but Belia News is the channel, I think, and he's a game dev that does a lot of news reporting, and he's pretty good. If you haven't heard from him before, he's worth checking out. But yeah, he's usually pretty good on the, math side of things and working stuff out, and he's done a few things before. So if he's saying he's worked it out to be $80,000, he's presumably based that on not just speculation and making things up. So yeah, I trust that to be
in the spirit of research, I look forward to peer review.
Yeah, I will say on our Discord, Spiky Chris, one of our listeners, he did follow that report up saying, I would take anything Belia says with a truckload of salt.
Oh, really? Well,
so conflicting opinions between the listener and the host.
I found them to be accurate in the past. Although, as I said, I haven't listened very much of late. Everything I've seen from him before has been...
All I'm going to say, Tim, is Spiky Chris and I both have PhDs in something vaguely maths related.
There you go. I will say as well, because this happened, and I'm not excusing microtransactions again. It's a
kind of are.
It's an interesting thing when they report, but I will say they very rarely take into account your playtime on top of microtransactions, on top of level progression, and like all these types of things in one. It is literally, I've loaded this game up and I'm going to spend money to get to this. Because it was the same thing I saw with Battlefront 2, even though I'm not excusing what Battlefront 2 did.
Yes.
And there's a lot of unknown probability distributions on the back end as well about what you get. Does it have bad luck protection? Does it not have bad luck protection? Does it allow duplicates? Does it encourage duplicates when you... All of that kind of stuff.
I must say, following the 2 transactions that I've made playing the game, I will say that I do feel like I'm being targeted more for microtransactions than the average player would. I feel if you were playing,
it's like, you like spending money, do you? You like it.
I mean, there are a ton of reports on this that have been leaked out of what gets discussed behind closed doors and trade shows and stuff that are just for the businesses and how all this stuff works, and it is very shady in the way they do this stuff. But then so are the casino similar events that go on, and there are myriad of tales that just absolutely terrify me in those kind of things. But yeah, I do feel like because I made the microtransaction payment and the thing to do the clan, that they went, hey, well, this guy's susceptible. Let's ease up and let's start cranking up the pressure a little bit. Let's make more special offer, and everything's special offer, and it's always pop up special offer. And I do feel like I'm getting targeted more than if I didn't make any microtransaction whatsoever in that game.
Anyway, Diablo Immortal, it's a thing.
Good.
A thing. So, I've been playing a little bit of a game called Hard Space Shipbreaker, but I'm going to save that to next week because we're already running fairly long.
That's
and I see
enough.
Tim's got something he wants to speak about.
That's coming to Game Pass as well, no? Shipbreaker.
Yeah.
It's on PC Game Pass. I don't know if it's coming to console off the top of my head.
Just PC.
Just PC. It's been around for a while in early access. It recently went version 1.0. I played a bit of it in early access, but now kicking the tires. Now it's released. But we are nearly out of time for talking about things, and there's a fair bit of news. So Tim, you can learn from this young man.
Yeah.
I'm going to decide not to speak at nauseating length.
Well, can I just say,
other people can say things.
Tim's lined up. He wants to talk about Multiverses, the open alpha, and I got a Warner Brothers invite a little while ago saying, "Hey, do you want to be part of the closed alpha?" I went, "Yes, please," and I signed up to it, and I created a Warner Brothers account and all that stuff. And they went, cool, you're in the closed alpha. And the entire time the closed alpha went on, I had no idea how to get into the closed alpha. Excellent. And I kept looking, and it was just before my holiday as well. And I was like, how do I install this? Where is this? And I went on the website, and I'd go on my profile, and it goes, here's all the alphas that you're signed into. Multiverses. Okay, how do I install it? We're not going to tell you that. We're just going to show you an icon.
Okay.
Well,
nice. I did manage
do I have to just? Is
this.
It tied to my profile?
What was it? A nice icon, or can't you say anything due to NDA?
Hey, look lovely.
Great.
Yeah, I think the closed alpha is obviously under NDA. The open alpha I am free to talk about, and did manage to successfully download and play online. And yeah, for anyone that doesn't know, Multiverses is Warner Brothers' answer to Smash Brothers, basically, from one brother to another.
Nicktoons cartoon battle.
Yes, yeah, and very much in that ilk. And I think that was free on PlayStation Plus this month as well, wasn't it? So, but yeah,
yes.
I was
completely
actually,
free, no subscription to pay.
Yeah,
you just get it for free.
I was free because that's how free works.
Well, yeah, but I was curious
free
to play
with this subscription.
Although, as Coleman will probably allude to if I don't mention it, I have been fairly dismissive of Smash Brothers in the past, saying it is basically not really
a real fighting game.
Yes, because it's a platforming fighting game, and that's exactly what Multiverses is as well. They put
Ryu, Ken, and Kazuya in, and a different, I can't remember, Dan in Smash Brothers, and you're still like, no, it's not a fighting game.
No.
It's totally a fighting game. Tim.
Literally doing Hadoukens.
The way it works. Well, look. Anyway,
but hang on. there are multiple. Okay, I'm not going to rant. I'll start you off, and that's not going to save anybody any time.
You could argue there is platforming in Soul Calibur and in other fighting games like Dead or Alive, but that is not quite the same. And yeah, you can get ring outs and stuff like that, and so I guess that has an element to it. But I've never.
So, are you talking nonsense?
Me, Smash Brothers has always been slightly different, but I think part of the reason I didn't get into it was twofold. One, aside from the characters you mentioned that are fighting characters that have been added to the roster, I don't massively care about Mario characters. My main interaction with the Mario universe is through Mario Kart, and I don't know or care about any of the backstory of the characters through playing Mario Kart.
It's because you've got some kind of demented view that platforms are terrible.
Well, yes.
And you're clearly wrong on that. Clearly wrong.
But I just for exact framing there, I historically didn't like platformers back in the day when that was the prevalent thing. I never got into Sonic and I never got into Mario. I don't fundamentally hate platformers, but if there has to be a hook to them above and beyond just being a platform. Yes, that's it. But yeah, the other thing that attracted me, other than the roster of characters, and with this, it's a roster of mixed Warner Brothers universes. So you've got Batman and Superman, which I never got to play because they were locked in the demo. Although other players were playing as them, so I think they were unlockable if you got to enough of a level.
Right.
But I got to play as like Shaggy and Taz, and I think Arya Stark was still locked, so I didn't actually get to play her.
A really good likeness of Arya Stark, actually, I have to say.
Yeah, in a sort of cartoon fashion. But yeah, I think I had most luck online with Taz, basically. He seemed to be a bit OP, but...
my boy.
But I played with Wonder Woman as well. She was alright, and yeah, like there's a few characters. I'm like, it's a mix of, it's a weird mishmash of characters. I think.
Did you take her out for dinner afterwards?
Rick and Morty's going to be added to the kind of roster at some point, and there's a few other like cross universes coming in.
The training mode has Mr. Meeseeks in it as well.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
And yeah, like it's so the characters. The character roster interested me more than Mario, but then also I think the other thing that was benefit to me, my other interactions with Smash Brothers has always been, here's 3 people that have played this game for 200 hours for the last 5 years. Good luck. And kind of like, oh, what's going on? Oh my god. So actually going from the beginning, the ground up, and playing through all the tutorials in this game, I think was very beneficial to my enjoyment of it, basically.
But you could just pick up Smash Brothers and learn how to play it.
I could. I just never...
Your complaint is I brought round Smash Brothers and me and Ed are kicking your ass.
Basically, yes. But this actually gives me more hope that possibly I could do that and enjoy that. Whereas in the past, I didn't think that was necessarily the case from the limited experience I had with the game before. Yeah.
I'm going to be very interested to see how deep they delve into the Warner Brothers / DC vaults.
Yes.
Could the final boss be Dr. Manhattan? That's what I want to know. Are we going to see a socially maladjusted Rorschach on the roster?
I mean, yeah, much to the detriment of Alan Moore. Yeah, probably.
Beat the living crap out of Jake the dog.
And
Alan doesn't want anything to do with it, apparently. Alan Moore.
Do you think Alan Moore stares at the contract he signed with DC, Warner Bros. And goes, why didn't I read this?
I'm going to have to give that a solid no comment.
But yeah, I ended up having fun with this. I mean, it helped that I think I won more than I lost, just about, even when things were slightly unbalanced. The few times I lost was when I was playing characters that had much more things unlocked than me and were like seemingly overpowered compared to me, and I had unlocked like Batman and Superman, so I had been obviously playing for some time. But yeah, I had some really good matches back and forth.
You're so cool,
with this,
Tim.
And actually, yeah, like the main mode it kind of funnels you into. There were other modes available, but the one that I played the most on rather than saying one-on-one fights, it was like 2-on-2. So I was teaming up with one other random against 2 other random people. That seemed quite good fun. Like there is some like synergy that can be had between like the 2 characters. So you kind of have to pay attention to what character class that you're going with. And I forget what they call it. I think it was mage characters that like Bugs Bunny was. And yes, one of the characters I really enjoyed was Tom and Jerry, who come as a combined character and just kick up the craziness, basically. They do loads of weird things where Tom's like throwing Jerry on a rocket or throwing him out on a fishing rod and all this type of stuff. And it can be quite hectic for the other players to know how you're dealing with things and what's going on.
Apparently, from a thing I read the other day, if you're playing as Tom and Jerry, if you watch Tom and Jerry when they're fighting, they aren't aiming for the other players. It's Tom attacking Jerry, and you're trying to pivot that attack to Jerry towards the other characters.
Yeah, and everyone else just basically gets in your way while you two are fighting. It's great. It's the ice climbers
if they're going through a messy divorce.
And as I said, other than maybe a few, like I think Taz was overpowered. Like I don't think I lost a match when I went with Taz. Like I'd go with like a random character, and each character you level up has to level up individually, and then you get access to more, not necessarily extra powers, but extra modifiers to your like base attacks and base powers, basically. So it can make a bit of a difference as to what you've got unlocked.
I think that's where I worry about this, because this is going to be a free-to-play title.
Yes.
And I remember kind of the gem system with Street Fighter vs Tekken, Cross Tekken, and it's the idea of adding modifiers is that where we're going to be spending money? Is that where it literally becomes a pay to win kind of system? That's the stuff that scares me with this game.
Well, yes, one of the things that they sent out a survey afterwards that went through a load of questions about like, what would you be prepared to purchase in the future, kind of thing. But most of those did seem to be concentrating on... Well, that's the thing as well. I tried to answer honestly, and I was like, nope, I won't purchase that. No, I won't purchase that. I might purchase this. I won't purchase that. But basically, it was
the currency to make a clan, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's all I want.
Banners and emotes, and I could see myself actually paying a bit of money if it was like a character-specific emote that was, slightly rare or whatever, and that was my main character. I could see me paying extra for an emote that was related to that character. Like, if it was a particular Tom and Jerry thing that was reminiscent of one of their old cartoons or something, like, I could see me paying for that, you know what I mean?
The racially insensitive woman of the house stands at the top of the stairs.
Well, maybe not.
Pulls her bloomers up, pull that. Yeah.
But it was, as I said, the characters actually appealed to me more than a lot of the Mario Universe ones did, because it's a lot of things I grew up with. I'll be interested to see what the full roster is like and what they do with characters, that adding characters to the roster going forward, whether they'll be paid for or, and whether that will kind of upset things a bit. But I am more on board than I thought I would be, even though my curiosity drove me to play it. I was actually like, oh, okay, no, I can actually get into this game and have fun with it as well. So I'm on board, I think, basically, especially for the entry price of free. I'll see what they get going and come back and report on it possibly, but I'm definitely on board for day one, sort of thing.
So would you go as far to say that you enjoyed the game?
Yes.
That's a strong word. That's a very strong... What?
Because I'm confused. Because I don't know, Tim, because I think you've come a long way since the colour's been fading from your hair. That at one point you wouldn't play a platformer at all. Mario, like, you absolutely hate the Mario games, and then after playing Odyssey, you're like, do you know what? I love this game. It's probably my favourite Switch game. And now this has come out, and you're like, do you know what? Platformer fighters, pretty fun. We've hit a turning point in this relationship, Tim.
This is okay. Well, as I said, I really think it really helped, like, having all the minutiae of all the kind of combat explained to me and how things work and how, like, the percentage works and what that means as to, like, how likely you are to knock someone off screen. And, that helped me get into the game more and play it more. So, I recommend, if anyone is a Smash fan, that you'll probably maybe not like it as much as I do, because I haven't played as much Mass and enjoyed it, but the characters appeal to me more than the Mario universe, so that really helps. So
Fair enough.
If they ever do a package on the Switch of Smash Bros. Ultimate with all the DLC, so Smash Bros. Ultimate, I will get you that as a present to get you into the
Oh,
game.
what a guy.
Okay.
What a guy.
Right, we have news, but we don't have a lot of time to do it, so we're going to do some compromising, and we're going to cover things, but we're going to cut it down a lot. So,
also, Summer Games Fest is coming up in like 10 minutes. So
yes,
we are
covering that next week.
7 minutes.
Yeah, we're covering Summer Games Fest and the Xbox Bethesda thing. All that, we're going to do that next week. PlayStation State of Play, June 2022. I was looking forward to this one. I thought there was going to be a big announcement that was actually a leak later on. We'll talk about that later.
All right.
We're not going to cover the whole thing. I'm going to give you, and I'm worried because there is a lot of PSVR stuff here, Tim. I'm going to give you one each. One highlight each you could talk about, and Tim's going to be torn because there's a game he loves and there's VR stuff. Yeah, as I came up with this, I will go with The Walking Dead Saints of Sinners 2 because that is probably, it used to be Batman Arkham VR, but Saints of Sinners became my favourite VR game to be released to this day. And I think that is an absolutely brilliant game. And unfortunately, the limitations of the PSVR meant I couldn't play it too long because of the screen door effect and all this kind of stuff and limited scope, range, and how you play it. But that game is really, really good. And it actually makes me... before they announced the PSVR 2, it was making me contemplate going out and picking up an Oculus Rift just to... is it a Rift or a Quest? Rift. Quest?
It's a Meta Quest.
Meta Quest, sorry.
Meta Quest 2.
It's not even an Oculus anymore.
Oh, that's right, sorry. So I could play Saints and Sinners on it because I wanted the 360 view and not having your arms drop off and all that. Just being a better all-round experience to play.
I do like wall in your flat, basically. Yeah. and
just because I love Walking Dead Saints and Sinners so much that I think I could get enough enjoyment out of that game alone to go, I should buy a £300 headset or whatever it is. But then you add in super hot VR without the PSVR limitations, along with, I've completed Arkham VR 100% now, so I don't really need to play it again. I totally would though.
Just need half an excuse.
But yeah, I was surprised to see that there's a sequel. I didn't know it did well enough to have a sequel, but I'm so glad there is, and the sequel looks so good.
I think it's a high enough bar, and they gave it away as part of, you're kind of giving away high quality PSVR games near the end of the PSVR life. So I think it's something where they recognise the quality of that game, basically, and that's why I think it's been announced as one of the first.
Did they give away the first one?
Yeah. It was. Recent.
I feel silly paying full price now.
Well, yeah, but I think you bought it a while before it went for free. But
I bought it day one.
Also, they gave away the Persistence as well, which I think you might still be able to pick up for free, but that's very good. Anyway, but overall, I was a bit disappointed by the PSVR stuff because they teased the PSVR 2, so I kind of thought that we might get like hardware details or a few more things going on, and all we got was 4 games that were like safe bets as announcements, and a couple of them that we'd already...
No, they did I can't remember, it might have been Engadget or one of those types of sites, but we got the full hardware details a little while ago.
Yeah.
And
they're pretty impressive, to be fair.
Yeah, but I just meant, more seeing someone playing it and seeing it in practice and seeing like how many wires there are, and just kind of a bit more of a closer look at the hardware, basically. Yeah,
I think that's a hard thing to convey over a video. But looking at, because we did we had a table of the stats. I remember now when it came out, and I went through the headsets compared to, and it just looked like if you're not getting the most advanced version of the HTC or the Vive or whatever that is, if you're not getting the biggest, most powerful headset you can get with all the flipping Lightroom boxes and all that kind of stuff, it's probably the best thing on the market you can get and it's on a console, which is mad.
Yeah. I think that's where the Quest 2 does so well. It's not, And I think that depending on what price point it comes in at the PSVR 2, obviously you need a console connected to it as well, not just the unit itself.
Yeah.
But it's having a reasonably good enough fidelity product at an affordable price point, which I think that's why the Quest 2's been so successful. People want to dip their toes in the virtual water.
Well, also, as Coleman said,
VR.
the freedom of movement with that as well. So no wires, no console,
exactly.
no PC.
But the PSVR 2, I mean, its capabilities are on par with, I think it's the HP Reverb G2, which is a very good headset.
It is.
I'm pleased that the
2000 by
headset.
2000.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just going to say, I'm pleased that the headset's getting an improvement, but for me, the controller's getting an improvement compared to the Move controllers is going to be the biggest leap forward for that thing, I think, basically. So
thumbsticks for Hibs.
I actually think the biggest deal about it is what they're calling foveated rendering, which basically means it works out where your eye's focusing and renders that bit in greater resolution and everything else, which is going to massively, massively free up compute power to really do some cool stuff in it, because it's not going to waste CPU cycles on bits you can't really focus on properly. So that is cool beans.
I'm really hoping the pre-orders come up in like the next couple of months, because I want to just put that down and have it done out the way, because it's going to launch around Christmas, and I just want to get that planned early and done.
I'm thinking they'll leave this Christmas open for more console sales, push up the number of console sales, and then launch it in March so that they can have a
bundle
push,
of the two.
A push again for the Christmas afterwards, basically.
You're assuming, of course, that a loaf of bread isn't going to cost £4,000 by December.
Well, there is that too.
Was that your game? Was that your game, or did Tim just completely railroad that on PSVR?
That was my game, and
was it? And Tim railroaded.
I think we all wanted to talk about PSVR 2 because we haven't spoken about it since the reveal.
This is true. Well, my one's easy. My fave game out of the ones they showed was Stray, for two reasons. Cat with a sidekick robot. That's all you need to know. No, but genuinely speaking, I really love kind of where they're going with this game. The kind of the post-human world in which everything lives, the kind of run-down, kind of almost Blade Runner-esque nature of the world in which the cat exists and the robots exist, and the kind of slightly seedy underbelly of society that actually I think it kind of hints it's going to chink into. I think it's going to be a really interesting game, both in terms of how it controls, but also in terms of the story it tells.
Yeah.
Boom.
And I will say I haven't watched the series, but when I lived at Tim's flat, he showed me a lot of clips and stuff. But it has a very reminiscent feel to I think it's called Love and Robots on Netflix, which I think is different episodes done in different ways. But there's one particular one that I saw of like robots walking around the apocalypse, and they meet a cat and all this kind of stuff. So it's very reminiscent of that. Tim, are you ready for your pick? And is it what?
Yes.
Is it going to be what I think it is?
Probably
Tim, FYI, I just did my entire pick in the time it took you to have a wee. All right, listen, learn, young Padawan.
I was laughing because Dan was talking and I could hear the toilet flushing.
Yep,
those are
That's
powerful
how I knew
microphones.
I had to hurry up.
Are you sure they are both the same thing? Anyway, but
shade!
Wow,
shade thrown at Dan.
I'm probably going to depart from what you think, though. What was Dan's pick?
What you're going to go?
I don't think
Dan was Stray.
Right, fine. I could have easily picked that because I'm very excited for that game. I have been excited for some time, though.
Sorry, I did forget to say, Dan, because it's not covered in the trailer. There will be a dedicated meow button.
Yes,
that is the best news.
There we go.
And you
best
can be
thing ever.
I was going to swear, but you can be an idiot with it and interrupt cutscenes with it and stuff as well.
Excellent. Well, I look forward to just really confusing the cack out of my cat by just pressing the meow button continuously. You're like, right, seriously, where is that cat? Where is the cat? What are you doing? Why is there another cat in my house?
I used to put bird sounds on my phone and hide it somewhere to confuse my cats back in the day. It works really well.
For my pick, I could pick Roller Drome because I kind of like the look of that. That looks interesting.
That's already out.
It looks like it might be cool. I might have a look at that and come back. But I'm going to actually pick out Street Fighter 6 because they've turned it around.
Yeah, that's what I predicted.
From having a really crap logo reveal, they've actually redone their logo. It's quite cool. It's got the V and the I as part of the S. I like that as a logo now. They've turned me around not only on the logo, but the game. I'm liking the look of the gameplay. I'm liking the direction they're going in, the art direction, and the way that it seems to like flow and have the kind of graffiti style coming off it. They've also announced that they're adding shoutcasters, which at first I was like, oh god, that sounds terrible. But then when they actually see it in practice, I actually think that's quite cool. It makes it look a bit more like what people see on TV, in the same way that having commentators do a football game makes it a bit more like what you see on TV. I actually think if people have got used to seeing online events, that will make Street Fighter look a bit more like it does when they see it online and stuff. So I kind of think that could work quite well and give a bit more hype to the game in general. I really, really like the fact that having really not concentrated on single player, and part of my reason with Street Fighter, I didn't really get behind Street Fighter 5, is because they didn't I didn't want to support their business model, but they also didn't seem to be supporting me as a single player Street Fighter gamer. And that
Fending
seems
for
to be
yourself,
something. But that seems to be something that they've obviously taken on board, and they've announced like there's a whole like
got
world
little
tour
blankets
mode,
to feed,
which sounds cool, and is also the thing that I kind of pitched to Ono-san a few years ago, and he basically told me
he's not there.
He wouldn't. Yeah, but that's the thing. He basically told me, no, I will never make that game. And they were like, okay, we'll go make it then. You can wander around the streets and do stuff.
He was so offended by your suggestion that he left Street Fighter.
So hang on, Tim. Are you now trying to take credit for Street Fighter 6?
No,
yes.
Not at all.
Yes, he is.
And
yes, you are.
I don't know if they're doing what I suggested to him, but what I suggested is that you go and learn from all the masters like Ryu, like Chun-Li, and they give you moves that you can add to your moveset
like
and
Jagger.
build a character as you're going, basically, kind of thing. But I don't know if that's what they're doing. They have got like a bit of the street where you wander around and actually get to fight in the street and stuff. They've also got like
Street fighting.
Yeah, they've also got a guy that does drunken master
Always wondered why they called it
and
that.
I've always got time for a drunken master in a fighting
Sold.
game.
Sold.
Yep.
Love that. Mm-hmm. I'm interested just because there is a shake up in the team in such a way that we've not seen since Street Fighter 4. Street Fighter 4 looked great. Street Fighter 5 looked great.
I love Street Fighter 5. Street Fighter 5, it's okay.
Yeah. I enjoyed 4, but the additions they made upon it, which they weren't really taking advantage of DLC, they were just releasing a new iteration each time, made it very unapproachable for new players. It was like, if you're so dedicated, buy the whole game again and full retail price each time. With 5, the problem I had was they released this very bare bones game, which we played on launch, Tim. We were playing it over at my old flat, and there wasn't a lot to it, and no one really wanted to play along because it just seemed very boring in what was available, because the whole point was we have to get this out ready for esports, and everything seemed focused around esports. And even when they had the big shake-up, and this might be a contributing factor why you didn't buy it, Tim, because I bought it and I bought all the DLC and stuff when I used to live at yours, so you got to play my version of the game with all the expensive DLC. But it wasn't, they went, oh, here's all this cool stuff to make it approachable for a new player.
Yeah.
However, or an existing fan that doesn't like this esports direction. However, it's so expensive to get on board with all this stuff, and it's not very fair on an existing player that goes, I picked up this £50, games are worth £50, a £50 game, and then I now have to spend an extra £30 on top of it to get all the characters and expansion passes and stuff to make it the most recent version. However, if you're a new player, you can buy it for £40.
And that's the thing. I kind of held out
very
with you getting it to start with. I held out and was like, okay, I'll buy one of the like arcade or Game of the Year editions or champion, whatever they call it, that adds all the stuff in at some point. And I just never got around to it. I think I eventually got a version free on PlayStation Plus, and like played through a bit of it then. But yeah, I just never invested in the game. So I'm really excited that this one looks like one that I can get on board on day one and have more single player content, and that might actually encourage me to play enough to then go on play online. But if I don't have that core gameplay there to get me hooked on the game, I won't play it enough to feel that I'm ready to play online type thing. So yeah, no, I'm happy. This has got me thinking about buying 6-button controller things, or maybe a fight stick or something to go with
Let's get a fight stick.
So that I don't wear holes in my thumbs. So yeah.
I couldn't believe it. Tim played 5 on my DualShock 4, and at the end of the day, he looked like a small rodent had been at both of his thumbs, chewing
Nintendo
away.
thumb.
And I don't understand. Like, Tim doesn't know how to play games. Doesn't know how to use a controller. How does someone do this to themselves and not go, I'm literally wearing my hands away? It
hurt. What it does, he's just gone through the point of it actually hurting. He's now actually just destroyed all of the nerve endings.
It's Nintendo thumb on heroin. I don't know how he did it.
Exactly. But if you keep on going, you will push through the pain because your nerves no longer work.
It's insane.
Yeah.
I don't know how you did it, Tim.
All the way.
To this day, I've never seen anyone have a game injury so bad.
And then,
Yep.
Yeah, well, you know.
Like, considering I tore...
That's the other reason I didn't buy Street Fighter 5.
Considering I tore a groin muscle playing a Kinect game, I've never seen a sporting injury on video games so bad as Tim playing Street Fighter 5 on a regular controller.
I think sporting injury is a very generous term.
I know.
But anyway, we've still got some news to crack on through, chaps.
There was a Sonic Central stream. We are not going to go into that too much. There was loads of stuff announced. A lot of it was kind of superfluous advertising for movie release, DVD, Blu-ray collections, and all this kind of stuff. The big things are Sonic Origins, Sonic the Hedgehog 1, 2, and 3, and Knuckles and Sonic CD, and a big collection.
They've repackaged it again, suckers.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, you say that, but the last big kind of collection that they released was on the 360, I think, and on the PS3, which are the digital collections. Because those are backwards compatible with Xbox One, which is also backwards compatible with Series S. I reinstalled those not too long ago, going, I'm going to play me some Sonic 2. Looks like arse. Like, whatever they've done to make it... I don't know if they're scaling down for Xbox installs back in the day on arcade, or I don't know how they've done it, but something is wrong with that. This is meant to be like a proper version of the game running, and I'm really excited for that. I will probably get this.
Good.
The other one
is Sonic CD held in high regard?
I think it was, and then it was re-released, and then those fans went, oh.
That was my recall about it. It kind of... Yeah. I think without the cachet of CD-based games being an exciting thing, I think it was like,
Yeah, I think it was just one of those things of people going...
No love for Sonic Spinball.
Not in that collection.
There's a lot of issues with Sonic Spinball. Maybe we'll have a Sonic special one day, and we'll go into all this stuff. Yeah. Sonic CD, I think it was held in high regard because it looked like the next Sonic game, whereas on the Mega Drive, they were working on Sonic 3D. And when you look at the two, they're very different games, and people didn't like 3D, and they went, oh, look at Sonic 3 CD. That is the game that I want. That is a Sonic game that I want. But when you play the game, you're like, oh, they've changed all these mechanics and stuff, and it's weird. But that is what should have been Sonic 4.
Adventure. See? I didn't like the old Sonic games so much. Sonic Adventure was a video game.
It makes me sad we don't do Let's Plays, because there are so many things that we could go through. I have all these at the ready. Sonic Frontiers is the big one. IGN got the exclusive. They showed a little clip online, and then they did an actual whatever IGN's we get to play this game first before anyone else thing was. A lot of complaints about this. It seems to be mostly from the Sonic fan base, where they say things like, oh, it's an open world, but it's an empty open world, and it doesn't look like a traditional Sonic game, and it doesn't have any of the Sonic elements we want, and the animations are choppy.
It looks empty.
Yes.
It doesn't...
Sparse,
there's just something doesn't...
It
looks like... You know, when people have gone, they tried to make a level on like the Forge mode in Halo, where there's a load of incongruous bits of architecture just jammed into a bit of scenery. It looks like that. It looks like amateur hour a bit.
I thought
afraid.
someone had made it in dreams, literally.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
There's two things to this. One is there was a further report and a couple of interviews and stuff that make it seem like there's a lot of stuff that's missing from these gameplay trailers and these reveals and stuff that are being.
I can tell you that.
No, I mean that is being withheld purposely for the game release. And sounds interesting for a Sonic fan as myself. Sonic fan as myself. The other thing is, if you have seen YouTube trailers and all these things shared around back in the day of Unreal Engine open world Sonic game and this open world Sonic game and Dreams demos and all this kind of stuff and gone, yeah, this is amazing. I wish Sega would make one. Your fault. You did this. You did this.
I never once said that.
Now you're getting
Never once said that.
I have a question, Mr. Coleman.
Yeah.
Would you regard yourself as a pro-lapsed Sonic fan?
Like an anus.
Oh, Tim, really? You're better than that.
I'm really not. You just saw me do it right there, right then.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, for what it's worth, I'm disappointed.
Well, you've asked a question that I'm ignoring, but not because because of the way you said it, but because I really think there's a Sonic special coming up that we need to do.
Yeah, I will be off that week.
Yeah, I'll
sort now.
I think we can get Rick. We'll get Rick in to talk about.
Yeah,
that
you'll
one.
get Rick in.
Yeah,
I have no idea. We could ask
the other thing is
a special guest, but we'll see.
So there is an announcement of a Sega Mega Drive Mini 2. Now there has been a Sega Mega Drive Mini and a Genesis Mini, which everyone has seen, and there was different add-ons and stuff that was available in Japan that you couldn't get over here. All very cool. I was very excited by the announcement. Didn't pick one up because it's not my Mega Drive. They've announced the Mega Drive Mini 2. That's my Mega Drive. I had a Mega Drive 2. I'm very excited about this. They've announced one. It has more than...
I have a question.
Yes.
Yes.
Shouldn't that therefore be Mega Drive 2 Mini rather than Mega Drive Mini 2?
Yes. However, because... Yeah, no,
it's
you're
also,
totally right, Dan.
Oh, it's also true, though. It's also the Mega Drive Mini 2.
I haven't had anything to be pedantic about this episode. That's the hill I picked to die on,
So,
thank you.
in the UK and the US, well, in Western territories, you could get the Sega Mega Drive Mini, which was just the circular front, square body, the original Mega Drive / Genesis. In Japan, you could buy that and also get the original Mega CD and 32X add-ons that you could screw into it or clip into it or whatever. They didn't do anything. They were just aesthetic. They're doing that again.
A cool aesthetic.
But they're making they're making the CD2, which clipped onto the side instead of underneath, which I was very jealous of because when I had my thing, it was this big, long console. I was like, why didn't I get it looked like a big hi-fi drive that was cool in the 90s. And the 32X that just looks like this horrible tumour sticking out the top of the console.
Well, that's because it actually was a horrible tumour that was sticking out
I
the top of the
eventually
console.
got a 32X and it was not worth the price of admission.
No.
And I got that thing for about £10, I think, and it still wasn't worth the price. I think do you know what? I think I swapped a CD for it and it wasn't worth the price of admission.
Oh my God.
Anyway.
Didn't that give you a little insight as to how valuable it actually was? There we go.
Oh, wow. It was in like 1999, so it was long dead. Mega Drive Mini 2, it is the Mega Drive 2 model Mini, obviously. 50 pre-installed games. Comes with a little side add-on Mega CD 2.
That takes mini CDs as well.
I know. I love the Mega CD. So this is coming out in Japan. It's going to be 9,980 yen. That is £60 around about in the UK.
So probably be £100 by the time it gets here.
Well, they announced it less than a week ago. They've still not announced it's coming to the UK or the US at this point. If they do, I reckon £80, £79.99 around that point. I think this will be the first.
Have you seen how far the pound has fallen in the last couple of weeks?
Good point.
We'll be lucky if it's short of £100. But
I think if the price
I think £100.
Yeah, I think if the price is right, it's the first mini console I buy because I love the Mega Drive 2. I've such fond memories. Like that was my console.
I still haven't set up the mini PlayStation that I bought, but yeah, I'm still tempted to buy one of these.
That's probably a good thing.
Did you buy one of those?
I got it in when I went to exchange a load of stuff, they had one in the store already.
Did they suck you in? They sucked you in store credit, did they?
I think they gave it to me for like 30, 40 quid
idiot.
as part of my exchange stuff. So I was like, okay. But I still haven't actually unpacked it or
the lowest I want one of those, but I've only seen it. The lowest I've seen it is 25, and I'm going right. 15 is my base. If I find it at 15
is your buy now. I think
that's
£20,
when I get it.
That's okay. £20. You could just.
I'd want to add the ROMs and do all the. I mean, I'll muck around with yours if you want and make it look really cool.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, I'm not bothered. I'm not using it, so.
You might when I mess around with it and make it run at 60 frames and all that kind of stuff. Xbox gaming, cloud gaming, which we know about. We all use it in some form or another. Tim does it on his consoles and the mobile. We do it on our mobiles and stuff. The mess around game. Currently, that is available on PC. That is available on consoles. That is available on mobiles.
The other day via the cloud. There you go.
Nice. That is coming to Samsung Smart TVs this month.
Yeah.
We don't know when this month.
I'd say like that one, but that one's too old. It has to be a 2022 Samsung TV, apparently.
Yeah, I just got mine, so I'll be getting one. That's that. So there's going to be an app for Xbox Cloud Gaming, which we assumed would be the case going forward. There's also at some point going to be some form of HDMI or USB plug-in to do cloud gaming. They've announced it. They haven't shown it. They haven't told you when it's coming, how much it's going to be. We know they're working on it. But this is the first step.
Do you think we'll hear more details about that in the Xbox Bethesda thingy, or do they get that out the way now so they don't have to talk about it? I'm not sure.
I think it's going to be that. What I reckon they might do. They're going
to talk about cloud gaming at some point in that thing, aren't they? So. You would think.
I think if you subscribe to their cloud gaming for a certain amount of time, you get one of those free. I think is how they're going to, and it comes bundled with a controller. Ooh. And basically, they're going to do a Google. What little remains of Stadia's lunch.
Yeah, that's a really good shout. I think you got a little column A, a little column B, Tim. I think they're getting the Samsung announcement, the sponsored announcement, out the way first.
Right. Yeah.
And then I think. During the big thing next week that we'll get by the way, coming soon, the little thing to pick up and stick into your TV and do it that way around.
Yarp.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, it's good news. I'll report back when that's available and see how it runs. I mean, it'll run terribly on my Wi-Fi, but maybe I can run the TV through my phone and make it run faster. Cheers, Sky.
Put an Ethernet cable in it.
Yeah, no. There's an Ethernet cable in my TV. It's just this area hasn't been upgraded for ultra fast Ethernet. Fiber. That's the word.
I'm still waiting for mine as well. But
yeah, this area.
I've got it in Slough. I'm speaking to you right now from a gigabit internet connection, and it's glorious.
Oh, I mean, nice. I live in Boris country, so I mean the most.
Are you harking back to the 1950s for a simpler time?
Yeah, all our internet and phone they all run off 2 cups and string. So
excellent. Well, and let's not forget, megabit is an inherently metric system, so you can't be measuring your internet speeds.
The problem with the intertubes is when they're blocked, it makes the internet run slower.
How many pounds of internet to the milligrams of internet?
I have 3 truffle guineas of internet is what I have. Anyway.
He's trying to avoid superfluous spending these days, you know. What we've recently. Anyway, The Last of Us Part 1. Sorry, I clapped as I was speaking. I always try to avoid that. Last of Us Part 1. That got leaked just before we started. It might be officially announced by the time this podcast comes out.
Yeah.
This has been long rumoured. There was big hoo-ha between Sony and Bend Studios. They were meant to be working on remakes and stuff. And it seems like it's got... So, basically, sorry, this is a leak. There has been data mining on the PlayStation website. You can find a version. You can find if you look through the source code, you can find what versions of this game will be made available in physical versions. But as we know, The Last of Us, which won't be called The Last of Us Remake because The Last of Us came out on the PS3. The Last of Us Remake is available on the PS4. So for the PS5,
it is called The Last of Us Part 1.
Roman numeral 1.
There we go.
Yeah, there you go. So this is a completely, well, according to the trailer, a completely rebuilt, ground-up remake for the PS5. So it's not
Because
a port.
of course it is.
Completely remade the game. I have a girlfriend in this house that is a massive fan of The Last of Us. She really likes the multiplayer. Still plays the multiplayer to this day. Was really gutted there wasn't a multiplayer mode made available with The Last of Us Part 2. Has been waiting on the words of Naughty Dog to go, what is going on with multiplayer? And they keep going. I think initially they said we were making a multiplayer, and then we decided not to do it, and we were going to turn it into its own game because the single player game became so big. The multiplayer will be in a new game of itself. And then apparently reports have said that version of the game is now being turned into a different game. That's going to be a different part of Last of Us. So could there be multiplayer coming to The Last of Us Part 1? We will find out in the future.
Knows?
But this version of Last of Us Part 1, it'll be a remake of the main game, the DLC, all rolled into one. That is going to come out on the 2nd of September for PS5. There's also a PC version in development. Big news for Last of Us fans.
Splendid.
That is all the news. Sorry it took so long.
Excellent.
We will skip questions and charity.
I'm afraid we shall.
Okay.
But, Tim,
Yes.
you need to tell us about something.
I need to plug 2 things this week, so I'll try and get to
Oh,
them
we didn't
fairly
do that.
quickly.
We didn't do an ad.
We didn't do an ad at the top of the show. But Tabletop Tuesday has returned and made a triumphant return to the fact that we've now had
Huzzah!
2, and it to the point where they were even more successful than I hoped. So I think we're just going to spin up and start doing the full thing as soon as possible. We don't have a feature game for next Tuesday, but we'll probably have one for the week after that. And then we'll kind of assess things and see where we are. But at the moment, it's looking very good, and we expect more people next week as well. So, yeah, come along and join us at Tabletop Tuesday. Slightly new location, just down the road from where it was in Stoke Newington. Nearer Stoke Newington Station than Dalston as it was before. There are more details on the front page of the website. I will update those details in the next couple of days as well. But there is also more details, and we're keeping more things up to date on the meetup group. Also, Chris, who has also wrote for the site before, and not that Chris, another Chris Turner, is now helping out with hosting things. Just in case I can't make it on any Tuesdays, like we're trying to balance things so one of us is always there at least. But he's really good at like teaching people games and bringing people through. So like he'll be like hosting games that other people can join, whereas I'll be kind of moving around and putting people into the workplace.
So he's announcing your hosting.
Well, basically we're co-hosting together, even though
I
we
like it.
Both not always
Very
be
nice.
there, but yeah, hopefully on the nights where we are, that means I can get to play some games on occasions as well, which is quite useful as well. But yeah, like
is that policeman Chris?
Yep. Yes.
Oh, good. It's good to have him available in case Ezra Miller turns up again.
Exactly.
Wow.
But yeah, Loading also does food now as well, gaming themed food, and that's going down really well as well with myself and other people. But yeah, that does make things a bit easier and nicer as well. It's also, I would say, a nicer location than the previous bar. I liked the previous bar, but this one is an improvement on that. We got a bit more room, a nicer arcade section, and a load of tabletop games. So come down and join us any Tuesday. We'll be there every Tuesday from now on. Back once again, and back with a vengeance. And yeah, like some fun games to come and play. So please come and join us if you like tabletop games. There are more details on Meetup. Search for Tabletop Tuesday on meetup.com or check the details on the top left-hand corner of bigredbarrel.com. But yeah, join us
It's a fun night.
Also, t-shirts. See, look, this one is a Big Red Barrel
That's
UK
pretty
That is a
t-shirt.
t-shirt.
It's a pretty good
this one.
t-shirt.
It can confirm that it's a t-shirt.
Yeah.
So I do like this one. This one I got on a kind of grey colour, but I don't think we particularly made this clear before, but you can get various different colours. Coleman had his orange one. I had a red one last week. But you can pick the background colour. We tried to make it so that the background colours available are suitable for the designs that we have. But you can also get the designs that we have on a variety of other objects as well. So you can get mugs, you can get stickers, you can get cases for your laptops, and phones and other bits and bobs as well. So come along and support us on there. I believe at the moment there is currently a 35% off sale. I think if you're hearing this on the Friday or the Saturday, that will still be the case. So run to our site and go along, and it is tpublic.com/stores/BRB.
I wore my Tabletop Tuesday Kaiju t-shirt over to Barcelona. I wore that around the Olympic Stadium from 1992 Summer Olympics, so people have seen it. But I think you buried the lead, Tim. You didn't mention our brand new t-shirt, Eating My Dust.
Yes.
I wanted to design that so bad, but Tim got ahead of me, and I'm so glad he did, because it was way better than what I was imagining.
That is a deep cut for the podcast. We want that to become the best-selling t-shirt, so Dan feels great about it.
Sorry, sorry, off topic talk. Tim, can we get an Eating My Dust mug, please? I'd like one of those.
Oh, no, yeah, it's available on a mug. That design is available on all the different products that you get. So you can get it.
Great.
I've checked that it looks nice on a mug. It'll be on a sticker, so you can get stickers with it as well. Yep.
So could theoretically a random person buy, like, I don't know, 100 stickers and plaster them all over Slough?
Yeah,
yes.
you could.
You could do that.
Good to know.
I'm not saying that we would want to see stickers stuck on every roundabout in Slough, for instance. But I'm just saying that would be something that would be an interesting thing to see. That's all.
All right. Don't deface objects, because I do believe it's also got my bloody name on it. Thanks, Tim.
I mean, I know where you live, Dan, so...
Well, yes.
I have
very true.
I think I put your age on it as well, like Dan age 13 or whatever it was. But
yeah, thanks.
I thought I have to change that, because I have to change the design slightly, because it should say like Dan age 13 and a half, just to be a bit more...
Oh, bit more Adrian Mole, because to just give me that extra street cred that I clearly was missing.
Well, that wasn't what I was going for, but you know.
Anyway, yes, you can buy things with my face on it.
Right.
Scamps.
Please,
that's amazing. Has anything been available with your face on it before?
Not
other than your face?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so. My face is not available for purchase.
Not for
my
commerce,
actual face.
No.
So,
wow.
It is now,
I do believe.
sucker.
That's amazing. That's exciting, surely.
Yeah.
Is it?
Dan,
though?
is that not exciting? Your
Something
face is available to buy
slightly more
on a product
chapter of my life
online.
The next event you turn up to, Dan, me and Coleman are turning up in t-shirts with your face on it.
Actually, I'm just very glad you didn't get them printed before my bloody wedding.
That is a good point. We'll do it at your next one.
There we go. You missed out. You missed out. So anyway, that's tpublic.com/stores/BRB. Go and buy things with my face on it. There we go.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That is it. That is a show, because we are running long.
Does TeePublic
thank you
make
so much.
Flags? Just out of curiosity.
You can get big
God.
cloth things, so you could use it for a flag. It wouldn't have, like, you know, the thing to run a pole.
Good to know.
But
Good to know. Sorry, Dan. Wrap up.
Yes, please. Thank you. Go to www.facebook.com/BigRedBarrel, twitter.com/BigRedBarrel, and in the show notes, do click on the link that will take you to our Discord, because super cool people hang out there and stuff. So
Really join
that's
the
it.
Discord.
That's the show. We are all done. And do feel free to leave us a review wherever you have acquired this podcast from, because we do see them and we do like nice feedbacks. Yeah, so all of those places. Yes. Cool. So that's the show. That's your lot. All that really remains is for us to remind you that I have been Dan.
I might have been Tim.
I have been Chaos.
Yes, you have. What a surprise. Yeah, it's not very
Surely
chaotic.
You should be a
The
Chaos
holiday did not
Emerald
change
this
me.
week. Chaos
I've been a
Emerald,
Chaos-
maybe?
Chaos eating a Chaos Emerald.
That's the one.
So, there we go. That's your lot. That's the show. We'll be back next week. And until next time, dear listeners, toodle bye.
and your ears are quite welcome.
For the podcasting goodness that you just heard.
Why not roll on over
To BigRedBarrel.com.
for more podcasts?
News, reviews, and videos from the biggest, reddest site on the internet. BigRedBarrel.com.
Who would win in a console war between Sony and Microsoft if it just came out to an all-out fight between their executives? Whether it's a fist fight or not, that's up to you. You can go in